Hi, my name is Maria Petrova. I was a lead aerospace engineer and climate scientist at Aether Corp, one of the world's most prestigious aerospace research institutions, based in Houston. I didn't enter the field to build rockets. I wanted to secure the future of our planet. My life's work was the Aether Core, a revolutionary non-combustion energy generator. It was scalable, virtually silent, and offered near-zero emissions. For 2 years, I worked with my mentor, Dr. Kyle, the head of the division, perfecting the final protocols. The Aether Core was ready for patenting. Dr. Kyle convinced me that to ensure its ethical global rollout, we needed to transfer the patent rights to a neutral subsidiary of Aerodyne. Trusting my mentor, I signed away the final rights to the technology. The neutral subsidiary was a shell corporation secretly owned by the Global Energy Cartel, GEC, a massive consortium of oil and gas giants. They didn't want the Aether Core to succeed. They wanted to bury it. My life's work was now a toxic asset designed for destruction. 2 weeks after the patent transfer, Dr. Kyle held a press conference. He announced that the Aether Core project was terminated due to catastrophic instability. He showed fabricated test results, falsely claiming the technology was too dangerous for public safety. He then publicly denounced me, Maria Petrova, as a brilliant but reckless scientist. The betrayal was immediate and brutal. I was fired, my research notes were confiscated, and I was blacklisted from any credible climate research in the world. But they forgot one thing. They didn't take the pure, satellite-based climate data that proved my system was not only safe, but desperately needed. My professional life evaporated. The name Maria Petrova became synonymous with unreliable science and corporate liability. I spent months in isolation, watching the news cycle praise Dr. Kyle's prudent decision to shut down the Aether Core threat. The irony was a constant torment. The climate crisis was worsening exponentially. The cartel was subtly manipulating public climate models and scientific releases, downplaying the severity of recent heat waves and ice melt. My final act before being locked out of Aerodyne was to download the raw data feeds from 3 independent, military-grade climate satellites, data the Global Energy Cartel didn't yet control. It was clear the GEC's official reports were fiction. The Aether Core was the only thing that could prevent catastrophe. I realized I couldn't fight them in the boardroom. I had to fight them in the atmosphere. My new mission became to counteract the cartel's lies by making the truth undeniable. I began building a distributed, open-source climate monitoring system. Using my aerospace expertise, I created an AI model that could aggregate data from countless independent sources to generate a unified, real-time, and uncensored picture of the planet's health. I named it Project Aurora. My project would be the dawn of undeniable data, illuminating the GEC's systematic climate deception and revealing the critical need for clean energy. I was no longer an engineer seeking profit. I was a scientist fighting for the planet's survival. The launch of Project Aurora was silent and invisible. Operating from a hidden, decentralized server farm, Aurora began aggregating and processing the uncorrupted climate data. When I made the first models public, hosted on an anonymous peer-to-peer network, Aurora showed ocean temperatures rising twice as fast as the official reports. The reaction from the Global Energy Cartel was swift and furious. Dr. Kyle immediately went on the offensive, labeling the Aurora data malicious, unsubstantiated terror-mongering. But the GEC's internal security teams were in a panic. They recognized my proprietary algorithms embedded in the data processing. My data was undeniable, yet the weight of the GEC's corporate media machine almost crushed it.
Almost. One man, an independent investigative journalist named Sam, was different. Sam had spent years exposing corporate influence on scientific reporting, and he instantly recognized the purity of the Aurora data stream. Sam reached out through a layered, anonymized communication channel. His first message cut through the fear. "I see your projections. I know the spectral analysis is proprietary. I have evidence the GEC fabricated the Aether Core test results. I don't want the tech. I want the truth about Dr. Kyle." I established a secure connection with Sam. He understood that the GEC's greatest weapon wasn't their oil reserves, but their monopoly on information. Sam needed my undeniable data to prove their crimes, and I needed his platform to deliver the evidence to the public. We formed a high-stakes partnership, the disgraced engineer with the keys to the atmosphere, and the journalist ready to break the biggest climate deception in history. Aurora was the key to unlocking the cartel's downfall. The moment arrived. Working with Sam, I orchestrated the largest data dump of uncensored climate information in history. Sam simultaneously published an explosive investigative piece titled "The Climate Cartel: How Fossil Fuel Giants Buried the Solution and Corrupted the Planet's Data." Project Aurora went viral overnight. Its real-time, easily verifiable models showing dangerously accelerated ice melt and rising global temperatures directly contradicted the soft, soothing forecasts published by the Global Energy Cartel, or GEC. The public reaction was not just concern, it was outrage. The GEC's monopoly on climate information was broken. Governments, regulators, and international scientific bodies were forced to acknowledge the vast discrepancies. They could no longer ignore Aurora's data, which was mathematically proven to be based on raw, independent satellite feeds. My revenge focused on Dr. Kyle. Sam secured an exclusive, live, televised interview with Dr. Kyle, who still urgently maintained that the Aether Core was unstable. I fed Sam a precise data model showing a critical 10-minute window during the original Aether Core stability test. During the interview, Sam pulled out the dagger. "Dr. Kyle," he pressed, "the Aurora data proves that the Aerodyne Corp internal sensors were deliberately corrupted during the Aether Core test phase, specifically between 14 and 1410 UTC. Sam then projected a live, irrefutable Project Aurora model. One side showed Dr. Kyle's corrupted internal sensor reading, a huge, false spike. The other side showed the simultaneous, clean external satellite data, perfect stability. Dr. Kyle, caught in a live deception, ultimately collapsed in his chair. The truth was out. Dr. Kyle was indicted for corporate fraud and scientific malpractice. The GEC was hit with global injunctions. I, Maria Petrova, the disgraced scientist, was fully vindicated. The downfall of Dr. Kyle was swift and complete. He and several senior executives from the Global Energy Cartel, GEC, were indicted on charges of corporate fraud and criminal conspiracy. The Aether Core technology, which the GEC had tried to bury, was finally free. Due to the proven scientific fraud, the patents were voided and transferred to a global, open-source consortium. Engineers across the globe finally began work on scaling the Aether Core. My name was fully cleared, but I refused all offers to return to institutional science. Instead, I partnered permanently with Sam. Together, we established the Aurora Foundation, a globally decentralized nonprofit entity dedicated to data transparency. I now oversee Project Aurora. The GEC's lie taught me the ultimate lesson. The fight for the planet is not just a fight against pollution. It is a fight for information. The most powerful tool against corruption is a transparent data feed.
I lost my mentor and my position, but I gained a mission to hold a digital mirror up to the world, forcing the powerful to see the damage they cause. The Aether Core will save the world, but Project Aurora saved the truth.